everybody has their individual workouts, but it's kind of like, hey, I checked all these, I got 3 out of. I'm like, well, remember
That's
2 out of
pretty cool,
3s, 66%. So I think when everybody else sees everybody knocking theirs out, like you'll see those late week pushes, like, man, this person win it Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's actually true.
He was dead on Monday, Tuesday, but.
Because that accountability is good. Because that's like the hardest. Like,
that is the hardest.
That's the hardest.
I've had people who miss weeks.
Because then I would just set up the programming for people, and I wouldn't really like check up too much.
Well, I think once you get a gazillion people, you don't have to though. But like if you're like, I'm kind of fresh off the boat with all my stuff.
You always have to. But that's because if they know, hey, my coach is checking up on me and always making sure I'm doing my stuff, then that also.
Yeah, especially if they trust you too. Like, yo, these players are legit. These aren't just like copy and paste like programming.
See, like I don't know, like programming. Like I would rather do weight loss with people. Like because then you're like, all right, what are you eating? Right? Like, I'd rather deal with the food aspect.
It's going to morph into a little bit of both anyway.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, counting macros was a thing.
But I would just be like, dude, don't work out.
Like,
be like, you need to do 2 to 3 days of strength training, right? You got to do your cardio every day, right? 20, 30 minutes. And then show me what you're eating. Like that, that's so much easier.
That can work until the famous influencer, like, comes up with something else. Like, the pendulum swings, like, every couple of weeks. Oh, no, I was told you don't do any cardio after 35. Oh, I was told I only need one. Like, I'm like, well, listen, guess what? Everyone's right, but you need to learn your own specific body and what works for you. And some of that you're not going to be able to tell if you're just jumping all around and doing one thing one day and another thing. Like,
that was true. But I would programming for that, I would just be like, all right, you got compound lifts, then you do some ISO, right? Like nothing crazy, nothing too extraneous. Like dealing with like the whole programming aspect, like, oh man.
It's a lot. That's where most of my time I have.
Yeah.
I think
I did that for a while.
I have over 40 different programming.
Yeah.
And
that takes up probably most of your day.
And then you're like,
how many days are they going? 4 or 5 days? Are they going to run there?
So I got I got programming I program for templates, I have a 40-year-old woman who is slightly active, was an athlete.
Yeah, you're getting some good content right now.
Was an athlete.
Better subscribe, like, come on now, help us out.
Then I'll have that template in my mind, what if this person was in front of me right now? How am I going to program?
That's so interesting because a lot of people don't take that into account. Especially, I noticed, like somebody will fall out with their trainer, they don't have enough space. You gotta kind of pick them up where they're at. It can't be like, hey, so
like a lot of.
And then, what equipment do you have? Like, I don't. And then, like, that's like the biggest factor.
So a lot of my things, like for me, I'm just like, hey, for me, before I can start programming for you, I need to know what you do, any medical things that I need to be aware of, and then what equipment you're going to use, what gym are you going to go to?
Yeah.
Right? And then when they're like, oh, tell me this. So I have like 10 programs just for band work. Like for someone who only has like 5, 10, 15, 20 pound dumbbells and a lot of bands. Like, oh, okay, that's not an issue.
Yeah.
So I got a guy in Northern Carolina, I've been training him for about a year now. Only has 10 to 25 pound dumbbells. Has like a 35 pound kettlebell, has a bench, and has a bar, and has a lot of bands. And we've been working for a year, and
the creativity, having to spew out.
I had to. I remember when I first started with him, I'll stare at his programming for a whole hour. Just, what am I gonna do with this?
And then you're like, well, we did that last week, but then I
But
need to change it up.
That's so I had to teach most of my clients that you're going to see them. You're going to see repeats. Right? But that's how you get stronger. Right? Slowly progressing, overload, that's how you get strong. You're gonna saying that you want to do this week and this next week, you're just gonna be doing a lot of bullshit for no reason.
Instagram will sell you that too, like, oh, I saw this cool thing I want to incorporate. Okay, but at some point, like if you're looking at your workout, where's your push, pull, your squat, your lunges, and hinges? You can't just be like, well, I like this, so I mean,
I don't know if you can see it, anybody. Check it out.
I was training